Hi everyone, my name is Robert and you're watching That's the Movie. So today I'll be reviewing Birdman. Birdman stars Michael Keaton, and Michael Keaton plays a washed out actor whose high point in his career was playing this character called Birdman, who's this sort of superhero, and it spawned 3 movies and everything, but after that nobody really cared for him and nobody remembered any of the other roles he did. After that they only saw Birdman. So he decides to adapt a play about his favorite novel, and he stars, directs, and writes the play that he's in. And this movie pretty much just follows the story of that play, the night three days before its opening night. So this movie stars Michael Keaton, Edward Norton, Zach Galifianakis, Naomi Watts, Emma Stone. It's a pretty big cast, and two other actors that I'm missing. But anyways, this movie, I saw a trailer about it a few months ago, and I was excited because Michael Keaton. That's pretty much the only reason you should be excited, because Michael Keaton. But if you start doing some research, you start getting even more excited by who are the people making this movie. This movie was directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu. I'm probably really screwed up that last name right there, but he's a Mexican director, and he's known for stuff like Beautiful. I don't know. I think it's Beautiful. That's how it is. It stars Javier Bardem, and he also did Babel. And he's a pretty renowned director. And then the cinematographer is Emmanuel Lubezki. There we go. Lubezki. That's what it is. If that name sounds familiar, it's because he just won an Oscar for best cinematography because of Gravity, and he's pretty much best friends with Alfonso Cuarón when it comes to making movies. Every movie I think he's pretty much done has had him as a cinematographer. So that signature Alfonso Cuarón look is actually the signature Emmanuel Lubezki look. So now you know. Anyways, this movie, talking about, the cinematography, was probably, when it comes to cinematography, was just ridiculously good. I haven't seen anything like this in a while. Just imagine the scenes that Alfonso Cuarón does in his movies, where they're like 3-minute, 4-minute long, continuous, one-take scenes. Imagine this in a whole movie. I heard about this movie that they were trying to make it look like if it was all in one take. And they succeeded in that. There was very obvious moments where it was used for editing, and, I understand those moments all the time, but I mean, it was really well done. It didn't take away from the whole thing going on. It really did look like a very fluid movie. It was just fantastic. But that wasn't really just the best thing about this movie. This movie, just in all, was just wow, just amazing. I mean, the acting especially was just fantastic. And I swear to Christ, if Edward Norton doesn't win Best Supporting Actor for this role in this movie, then I will have to punch somebody, because he did a freaking amazing job. And so did Michael Keaton. Best Actor nomination right there. That's gonna happen. Everyone knows this. And the screenplay was just fantastic. The dialogue, it was just so fluid and real, and I loved it. It was like watching Quentin Tarantino at his best, but without the Tarantino flavor, and still being awesome. It just had that sort of real human dialogue, and I just loved the whole dialogue in this movie. It was fantastic. I mean, even the soundtrack, it was a score that was primarily of a drum, just a drum. And it was amazing. I don't know what it was, just a drum, and it was probably one of the best film scores I've heard in a while, and I just loved it. This whole movie was fantastic. It was hilarious. It was very dramatic at times, but it didn't try to be more serious than it was. It wasn't trying to take itself too seriously. It had these moments of very serious, dark moments where it kind of happened, but it wasn't dwelling on it. You know that it was a very serious and dark moment, but they kind of just broke the ice with a bit of comedy here and there. And I just love that it was not trying to be too serious. It wasn't trying to be Oscar bait, And talking about that, this movie criticizes a lot about, the film industry right now, and not just right now, just pretty much forever how it's been, because, it's about making a play. That's what this movie's about, pretty much, just putting on a play. And theater actors, and a lot of theater goers aren't really big when it comes to movies, because theater is supposed to be like what real acting is, and it's not uncensored, it's not cut and pasted. And I guess that's why this movie was just supposed to look like one fluid take, because it needed to feel like you were just watching a play. And I guess that's just the message they were trying to send with this movie, was that we've pretty much stepped away when it comes to movies what acting is. But that's just that's a conversation for another time. And that's what I like about this movie. It makes you think about, you know, what entertainment is when it comes to film and TV and everything, and it's just fantastic. But besides that, you know, besides everything I've said, this movie was just thoroughly enjoyable. Like, really enjoyable. I remember as I was leaving the theater, one girl was walking out the theater saying, I just didn't see any surprises in the movie. I kind of guessed it, what was going to happen, what some of the characters were going to say, and what was going to happen next. I'm like, that's not a problem. And if that's the average moviegoer's thinking, it kind of sucks, because movies don't need to have twists and turns to be entertaining or to be amazing. You know, this movie was just fun to watch. I went into the movie expecting it was going to be a decent movie, and I was blown away. You know, and I think even if you had high expectations, those expectations will be met, because this movie was fantastic, and I really recommend people go see it. Like, everyone should see this movie. It was just one of the best things I've seen all year, and I'm kind of liking this year when it comes to movies. Even the big blockbuster movies are kind of stepping up their game. You know, some of them are lacking. You know, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Transformers 4, but that's exactly what this movie is criticizing. There's even this whole scene right towards the end it's just on point there when it comes to criticizing America's, you know, entertainment now. But besides that, I really recommend people go see this movie. It was just a fantastic movie, and I think it was a great return for Michael Keaton. He hasn't been in big movies, you know, since, I don't know, Beetlejuice, Batman. I think he was in The Other Guys, but he had a small role, and it really tells you just how talented Michael Keaton is. And he's just an actor that should be on screen as much as Robert Downey Jr., as much as Al Pacino was at one point. He needs to be bigger. You guys can follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram. Well, not Instagram. Everywhere else except Instagram at TheRealRobertAH. And on Instagram, you can follow me at Robert Alfonso-Hidalgo. And you guys can go on to SashaMarinaShow.com and check out that's our website. You know, we have a podcast every Monday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I just talk about movie news with Sasha. And you guys can also go on Google Play and BlackBerry World, and there you can check out, you know, our app, the Sasha Marina Show app, and there it keeps you updated on everything Sasha's doing and I'm doing. Yeah. And on Facebook, you can like our pages. That's the movie and the Sasha Marina Show. So anyways, check out Birdman. It is an amazing movie. It'll just blow your mind. Well, it won't blow your mind. It'll just be really fun to watch. That's what kind of will blow your mind. Sort of, like a little bit, sort of like a poof in your mind, but it still counts. But check out this movie because it was fun. Anyways, that's the movie. Off the bat.
And it's 5 generations. These 3 families. We go out to space and we jump to the stars. And one family's a military family. They're in space.